Hello everyone, Miguel again from Southeast Asia with just some thoughts about how the coronavirus is evolving in the region. I'm right now in Bangladesh, still a safe country. There are no cases reported in here. This is what I want to talk about. Some experts continue saying that there's no vaccine for coronavirus. Some other experts are saying that there is not a testing criteria, kind of a final testing criteria to identify coronavirus. So, right now, I give you some like quick estimated numbers of how supposedly coronavirus is spread all over the world so far. So China supposed to have 78,824 cases. Supposed 2,888 have died, and recoveries are reported to be 36,268. Now, South Korea, 2,338. This is the largest amount of cases outside China, which means that pretty much 90-something% of cases are in China. And then it's Italy right now that, it's a lot of panic in the country because of the coronavirus. It's 888 cases. South Korea, Italy, Iran, 388 cases. Japan, 228. Singapore, 98. Hong Kong, 94. United States, 60 cases. Germany, 60. Kuwait, 45, and so on and so forth. We're going down. Latin America seems to be safe at this point. I think the most important thing to consider about the coronavirus is that we don't know much. I tend to believe science. I tend to trust the experts when they say there is not a criteria for testing, there is not a vaccine. But if there is not a criteria for testing, how is it that so many countries have identified cases of coronavirus if there is no a unified testing criteria? That means that hospitals or doctors are diagnosing coronavirus when it is actually not. And we have to be very careful with this because, again, in those countries where there was winter and it was cold, it's a flu season. And flu seasons tend to be actually more dangerous and deadly than coronavirus. So we need to be very careful into that. Now, experts are also saying there is not a vaccine, but in some countries they are saying so many have recovered now. So key things that we need to be paying attention to is the world, or are these countries exchanging information so that everybody around the world can actually use a proper diagnosis criteria to identify the coronavirus? This is important. Is the world exchanging information so that treatment given to positive cases of coronavirus or supposedly positive cases of coronavirus can be used in other countries around the world, and then the problem is solved? Maybe that is not the case again. Maybe people who recover supposedly from coronavirus, they recover for bad flu or influenza, which is actually more deadly than coronavirus. Now, I'm not saying that we have to ignore the fact that the coronavirus is in the environment. No, not at all. But what I'm saying is we should not panic. There is another very important thing. This I mentioned in my previous video, and I want to mention it again. Somehow, social media and the press wants to keep our attention in China and what China did, and we have to. But if we have a problem at home, this is the moment when we have to be thinking about how to prevent coronavirus to enter our countries, how to prevent for it to spread more than it already has if we have cases, and how are we going to deal with those cases at home, not in China. I mean, someone in every country, and I guess this has to do with our governments, they have to keep monitoring what's going on out there. But meanwhile, we need to check up at home what is that we're doing for to treat the cases or for prevention, which I think is the most important thing. That being said, I like to concentrate on prevention. Right? So if you are healthy or if you don't have any symptoms, make sure that if you have a immune system that is strong, you may survive the problem. Now, one of the very good things to note is that bacteria or any kind of disease weakens in more alkaline environments. So our blood is actually pretty lightly alkaline. Even though being alkaline, we still can get some diseases. But if we, make our bodies a little bit more alkaline by eating certain kind of foods or drinking certain kind of things that are not medications at all, then that means we are protecting ourselves from anything. So very easily, you can have actually lemon water every day. That's your water. Lemon, even though being acid, it acts as an alkaline agent within the body. Ginger is another thing that we can actually eat in a daily basis and also move your body. If we are sitting all the time, then this passivity influences how we actually fight diseases and how our immune system actually gets either stronger or weaker. So, washing our hands, washing our face, taking a shower at night before going to bed are the very three physical things that I will recommend in terms of prevention. And then lemon water, ginger tea or ginger pickle, ginger in whatever form you want to have it. I think it's wise to start thinking about, if this virus comes to my country, how well prepared I am to deal with that. So, and this goes from the personal all the way to the national level. And again, if we want to monitor China, let's do it. But paying our attention to China should not affect the attention that we have to put into prevention or solving the problem in our own countries. Now again, don't panic, because if you panic, you create a social situation that hurts the economy even more. Socially speaking, it becomes a crisis. We have to be more in contact right now, maybe not necessarily at a close distance, especially in areas of high risk. But panic is not a healthy thing. So another thing with the masks, right? You wear a mask because you want to avoid to infect or throw viruses on other people. But if you're a healthy person and you wear a mask, you are breathing in your carbon dioxide. It doesn't matter how how expensive or how high quality the mask is. Once you breathe out and breathe in again, you are intaking carbon dioxide. Now, carbon dioxide has the effect of weakening your immune system. So if you wear the mask whole day long, every day, that's a lot of carbon dioxide going into your body. What I do personally, right now being in the region, is that I bring my mask with me. For example, if I get to get on the plane, I wear the masks because I am sitting right beside a lot of people that may or may not be infected. I will do the same in the United States. I will do the same in Italy. I will do the same in Spain. If I go to a public place where there are too many people and these people are very close to each other, I'll do it. But rather than that, no. And after I wear the mask, I make this exercise of deep breathing. If I could be in a like cleaner place, but going back home, I go to the garden, for example, or in the morning in the backyard of your own home, do deep breathing 10 times, 20 times, very slow, to bring oxygen into your body, and so that you kind of balance the intake of carbon dioxide if you're using a mask. So again, don't panic. Use your brains. Don't let the media and the press, sensational news to actually overtake your thinking capacity. Be cautious, that's for sure. Work on prevention rather than in curing the disease. People who are dying on over 80 or with respiratory problems already. If you smoke, for example, your respiratory system is already weak, so you might be in danger. You may want to consider either quitting or reducing the amount of cigarettes or cigars that you smoke on the daily basis, because it actually affects your respiratory system. And according to the experts, this virus is high on your respiratory system. By that meaning physically high than other similar coronaviruses. Wash your hands, wash your face, you take a shower before going to sleep so that you actually, reduce the amount of dirt that you bring from outside. Outside is dirty, period. So if you go to sleep without a shower or washing your face, you bring that dirt into your bed. And then at night you are actually breathing those things in. It's very simple logic, really. It's just sometimes it's a matter of habit. But given the circumstances, this might be a good habit we want to acquire. Stay safe. I'll see you soon.